Another benefit of the Taraweeh prayer, and this is applicable to many Muslims today, that is, the very first thing that Allah is going to ask the people about Yawm al-Qiyamah, does anyone know? What is the very first thing that Allah is going to ask you about Yawm al-Qiyamah? Does anyone know? He's going to ask you about your salah. If your salah was complete, right and exact, then all of your other deeds are going to be complete, right and exact. There are people who are fasting and they don't pray. Wallahi, thumma billahi, thumma tallahi. There is no sawm without the salat. If your salat is lacking, your sawm is going to be lacking. Anyway, the Prophet went on to say in this hadith, which goes to show one of the tremendous benefits of at-Taraweeh. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم وإن انتقص من فريدته شيء قال الله عز وجل انظروا هل لعبدي من تطوع فيكمل به فريدته. If his salat is complete, right and exact, all of his deeds are going to be affected, complete, right and exact. But if his farida, his wajib salah, if it's lacking, Allah Ta'ala is going to say to the malaika, look at my servant's salah. Look at his salah. Look at his tatawwa, the nawafil, whatever they happen to be. Any prayer that is not from the farida is from the tatawwa. Any prayer that you could possibly think of. And with that prayer, your salat that maybe you abandoned when you were younger, it will be made to become complete. So there are many people who are here right now, wallahu alam, at one point or another during your life, after becoming bad, you were 16, 17, you stopped praying for whatever reason. People who didn't pray during certain portions of their lives. He became religious at the age of 35. She started praying at the age of 25. What about all of those salawat that you owe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala previous to that? The salat of Taraweeh is one of the ways that you can get the farida built back up. So when you're standing in the saf and shaitan comes to you and he says to you, oh, my feet are burning. Oh, I'm so tired. Just remember that Taraweeh prayer helps your previous prayers that you abandoned to become complete. But that shouldn't be understood to mean that the Taraweeh prayer is equal to the Farida. The Farida prayer is the most important issues in a person's life after the Tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another benefit, Ikhwani, about the recitation of the Quran in the Taraweeh prayer as well, is that this is one of the sunnahs that have been left off, one of the sunnahs that are mahjura by many of the people. The Taraweeh prayer, when the man came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he asked him, Ya Rasulullah, ayyu salati afdal? What is the best salah? He told the man sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tul qiyam, the prayer where you stand up for a long time. The prayer in which you stand up and you pray to Allah Azza wa Jalla and you're in qiyam for a long time. The salah of many of the people today. If he does wake up for Salat al-Fajr and he prays in his home, if he does wake up, he may not pray the Rakat al-Fajr, the two sunnahs. He may just pray the Salat al-Fajr, Salat al-Subh, and he prays it with small surahs. He's used to that. Whenever he prays with the smallest surahs from Juz Amma. Maybe because he doesn't memorize a lot. So he's only able to pray with the small and short qiyam. So when a man comes to the masjid and he prays behind the imam, he hears the kalam of Allah Ta'ala, الَّذِي لَا يُشْبَعْ مِنْهُ, and also he follows that sunnah of tul qiyam. During the time of Umar radiallahu anhu, when Umar came into the masjid in the famous narration and he saw the Muslims praying in different groups, and he didn't like the ikhtilaf that existed. Although the ikhtilaf that existed, it had its proof. Those people were praying over there, they had a dalil to pray over there. And those people were praying over there at the same time, they had a proof. And those people over there, those people jama'at. But Umar radiallahu anhu, knowing the religion, even if there's a dalil that causes ikhtilaf, even if each group has something that is holding on to, the Muslims have to do their best to try to remain united. start Ramadan at the same time, break Ramadan at the same time. So although I may be from a country, I'm from Yemen, for an example, and in Yemen, they're going to break from Ramadan tomorrow. But I know that the people here in Newcastle are going to break the following day. Although I have a deal to follow the people in Yemen, we should do our best to stay united as much as possible, because this is from the religion. Anyway, Umar radiallahu anhu, he didn't like that the Muslims were divided like that. So he took two of the companions. One, Ubay ibn Ka'b, who was from the ulama of the Quran, and the other one, Tamim al-Dari. He told Tamim al-Dari, you read the Quran and don't read such long verses so that the weak people from the du'afa and the women, they can pray behind you. And he told Ubay ibn Ka'b, you read for as long as you want to read, and the people who want to read a long time, they'll stand behind you. In that narration, they said that Ubay ibn Ka'b used to lead the people in the salah, and he would not finish the Taraweeh prayer except close to Salat al-Fajr. And the people used to hold on to sticks while they were praying. Why? Because they were making things difficult for themselves. Because they knew the Sunnah. Tul al-Qiyam, the long standing in the Salah. During the time of the Prophet himself, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to lead the people in the Salah, or he used to make the Salah. When he was sick, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he prayed Surah al-Baqarah, Surah Ali Imran, Surah Ali Imran al-Ma'idah, Surah al-Nisa. He prayed with Surah al-A'raf, al-An'am, and Surah al-Tawbah. Those 7 surahs in one qiyam. Anybody know how many ayahs that is? Somebody take a guess. How many ayahs are those 7 ayat? The Prophet said whoever reads these 7 ayat or memorize them is a hibr from the ummah. Does anyone know how many ayahs those 7 consist of? Over 1,000 ayat in qiyam. And his ruku' will be similar to that. And then he will stand in qiyam again, it will be similar to that. He will go into sajda, it will be similar to that. So if an individual compare what we're doing behind the imam, it's relatively easy. Hudayfa ibn al-Yaman, radiallahu anhu, he said that I prayed qiyamul layl with the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and when he prayed, he started off and he read Surah al-Baqarah in the first qiyam. Hudayfa said, when he came to the end of Baqarah, I said, he's going to make ruku' after this. Prophet didn't make ruku'. He started to read Surah Ali Imran. He came to the end of Ali Imran. Hudayfa said he's going to stop after this. He didn't stop after Ali Imran. He went to Al-Ma'idah. He read the end of Ma'idah. He said he's going to finish after this. He didn't finish. He went back to An-Nisa. Hudayfa said, and then I began to think of a terrible thing. I started to think of something that was I started to think to myself something that was negative. The negative thing that he said he was thinking about was to sit down while the Prophet was praying. He didn't say I was going to leave the salah. He didn't say I was going to nudge the Prophet, stop, slow down. He said the negative thing that I was going to think about doing was to sit down and to pray while he stood.